Finally, a word about the ultimate. William Deming defines religion as an orientation to ultimate reality. Kent Richter uses the language of ultimate being. Both are scholars who work in the tradition of the ultimate. Definitions like this build on the work of the Christian theologian Paul Tillich, who developed a modernist systematic theology in the 1950s and 60s, built around the idea of God as the ground of being, and of religion as the human activity that properly relates to that ground of being, as to humanity's ultimate concern. Hopefully you recognize that as very non-reductionist. The English word ultimate comes from the Latin root ultimare, which means to come to an end. Something ultimate is something that we can't go beyond, not simply because we've run into a roadblock, but because it's absolutely as far as we can go. It's the end of the road. It's when all is said and done. It's when the show's over. The ultimate is the highest, the best, the most. And in the context of the study of religion, people use the language of the ultimate reality, or ultimate being, not just to mean the highest, the best, the most that human beings can see or do, but that there could possibly be true truth, real reality. The early modern philosopher Immanuel Kant might have called that the thing in itself. Scholars working in this tradition usually make the important assumption that there really is one and only one, ultimately real world, but that all human knowledge of that real world is partial and limited, even the scholar's knowledge. Richter, for instance, will talk about the truth claims made by religious people. That is, what religious people say about the ultimate. He and other scholars like him take these truth claims seriously, at least as seriously as religious people's reports about themselves and about what they think and feel. They take seriously the way religious people often say they are, and often seem to think they are, oriented towards something that surpasses human limitation, the truly true, the really real, the ultimate. These scholars don't assume that religious people are correct about the ultimate, however. If the ultimate reality is the way religious people say the ultimate is, then their truth claims are true. If not, then not. In other words, what religious people talk about as beliefs are what these scholars think of as truth claims. In the meantime, scholars of religion will take seriously what religious people tell them about how they understand their ideas and practices to connect them to the ultimate, as they understand it. It would be good to notice that the ultimate is not identical to the sacred. Religious people usually understand the ultimate to have the same mysterious and awesome power that we associate with the sacred. But they also might think of other things as sacred, things they know are not the ultimate itself, but that help them think about or get aligned with or obey the ultimate. For instance, Christians would generally identify the ultimate as God. Christians wouldn't, however, identify the Christian church as God. But they probably would go along with a description of the church as sacred or holy, something that orients them towards what they understand to be ultimate being or ultimate reality. So while these two ideas are related, they are not exactly the same thing. It would also be good to notice that assuming there is such a thing as the ultimate, which scholars in this tradition seem to assume, the ultimate, almost by definition, transcends human language, human thought, human social processes. That is, human limitations of all kinds. People's ideas about the ultimate may well be shaped by their cultures and societies. but the ultimate itself, which is distinct from our ideas about it, will not be. In that sense, orientation to the ultimate may be the ultimate non-reductionist understanding of religion.